Oh, all right, so battery's dead. All right, so we're back at it for another day, and we're gonna pull the roof off over here at the grain bins for the dryer. All right, so we're pulling these panels off the roof here for the fact of it's right above the dryer and it vents out better. Everything in there will get all covered in moisture, and this battery's dead too. So anyways, all right, gotta get the dryer started up because we got a couple thousand bushel of corn to dry. So let's get the leg started. Get the blower plugged in. Take care of that. Back at it for another day. Yes. Better get the oil checked. Step one. Oil is good. Alright, so now that we got this thing running, we'll warm up here a minute. We'll get on to the important stuff, you know, like lunch. Alright, so I'm back at the grain dryers. Combine didn't go great. I got like 2 bins off, and the fan cleaner, air cleaner thing did not work. The belt was slipping on it, so it wasn't spinning around, filling up with all this pink stuff here. And so we tore it all apart, got it ready. Grandpa's got it up at the shop, he's fixing it. I'm transferring corn from one bin to the other. I got this 7,000 bushel bin filled with wet corn right now. Probably got 2,000, 3,000 bushel in it. Our wet bin only holds like 1,000. So what I'm doing is I've been putting all of our extra corn that we can't fit in the wet bin in the other bin, and when I have free time I transfer it over, and the dryer's just about done. So that's what I've been doing. Works great as long as our unload belts don't start slipping. Had that happen, that's not fun. Wet corn doesn't quite flow out of that side the greatest, so that was the issue. But other than that, it's going good. So we'll just keep transferring for a while. And all right, have you ever had just one of those days, you know, like a Monday? It's definitely one of those Mondays. This thing here, we've been using it, pushing sludge around up in a pit with a snow box on it, running great. Friday, I think it was Friday, I had some issues with it. It wanted to really smoke bad. Like this thing, for a mechanical engine, it's a 2011, it's got EGR and everything else on it. This thing is pretty clean, I'd say. I mean, when you really work it, you see a little haze come out. Well, I noticed when I was working with it, it was smoking quite a bit. Figured it was an air filter. So today, Monday, I finally got a chance to blow it out because I've been doing other stuff, and we were getting ready to go back up for tomorrow. And it is, I mean, when I say chooching like a train, I mean, it's most smoke I've ever seen come out of this thing. I mean, I took a video on my phone. I'll show you guys that one. I mean, it blew chunks of stuff out of the muffler even. So we don't know if the muffler's junk or if the turbo's junk or what, but when you really load this thing up, when I say load it up, I mean push into a pile, run the hydraulics all at the same time, and bring the power down, this thing has a hard time coming back up on top of the RPM. It lugs quite a bit. Yeah, anyways, we aren't sure what's going on with it. I think Grandpa's gonna come run it, but we'll see. But yeah, I mean, you push into a pile and then it makes a weird whistling, not like a true whistle. It sounds like the turbo is laboring, but also trying to push a bunch of air through it all at the same time. So I don't know if the EGR valve's stuck wide open and then the turbo's not sure what's going on, and it's just flowing air every which direction and it's not happy or what. So yeah, it's one of those days. So hopefully this thing, we don't have to pull the engine back out. I hope to God not. I'm like, fingers crossed, but we'll see. But yeah, that's the update on this thing. It's raining out, drying corn. Combine broke down today. You know, everything that could go wrong has gone wrong. We're tearing this thing apart. So in the last video, you guys saw that this thing's chooching like a train. We've talked to some people. They think either the turbo is going or the muffler has got a broken baffle in it. And yeah, so Jeremy's working on blocking the shot, tearing it apart. So all right, so we got the muffler off now. We're gonna run it, see what happens. I mean, just it did get a little hot here. We actually put this thing on to protect the hose up here from rubbing. I think all the baffles are broken that. So yeah, that's interesting. The turbo down in here, it's got lots of side-to-side play. Well, I don't know. For the little size of a turbo it is, it's got lots of side-to-side play. On a big turbo, that's not a lot. I mean, that's probably pretty normal, but I don't know if it's good or bad, but it doesn't spin as easy as I pictured it doing. Like, I can spin those other ones and spin it and it spins for a second. This one, you don't get much after you let off. So yeah, we're gonna go run it, see if she starts acting up again. I mean, really, we run it, when it hits wide open and you just go all the way forward and it does it, then we know it's turbo related.
Yeah, let's
so
go try it.
Yeah, we're gonna go try it and see what happens. I think she's better.
We'll work it a little bit more, let it kind of get up to temp.
So yesterday wouldn't even do that. Like, we couldn't, like, I was surprised it drove out here.
Alright. Well, just do it a little bit more.
Alright, so we ran this thing some more afterwards, after we shut that video off. Seems to be fine with it just being a straight exhaust. Didn't really seem to have too many issues with it. I mean, I worked it for probably another 5-10 minutes and before it would act up in that amount of time. So we're thinking we're good on the fact that it's just a muffler. I mean, you can hear the noise that muffler makes when you shake it. It's not supposed to do that. So anyways, that's what we've determined on that. So right now what we're doing is we're working on the parts for the combine that I guess they're not really broke. It's more of a wore out kind of situation. The shaft here, we're gonna remake the metal. It's got a little step in it right there, and this pulley's loose on it, so I figured the best way to do is just take and put a couple tacks on it. Don't really need to lay in too many heavy welds, but just a couple tacks to fill it up. We'll grind them down and go from there. Alright, so basically we're back up here at the combine now. We're gonna put this piece back on. I'll show you how it goes on once it's on, but it goes right up here, spins that black thing up there, and yeah, so it's a, I don't know what you call it, a cleaning fan screen. I don't know what it's called exactly, but whatever. It does the job, and I know what it does, but that's not the important part in the situation here. It goes right up there in those two holes. This belt goes on it, and then I just picked up 2 more belts to go on it. So yeah, we got some stuff to do there, but anyways, we're gonna get it thrown on quick and go. Hopefully I can get that truck finished filling up, and then hopefully the truck right on the other side of this thing filled up too. So that's what the plan is. Let's see if it happens. All right, so this thing's all back together. You see, belt's on, spins, well, kinda. It will spin with the belt, but there's enough drag down there and it doesn't spin there. But it's back together. There was an extra trip to the hardware involved. The bolts that hold it on were no longer with it, and see if I can get down without dying. So, yeah, the bolts somehow got lost between the combine, my truck, and the shop, so who knows where they're at in between there and here. So yeah, Mark's filling the combine up with fuel, and hopefully we're gonna be able to load these trucks right now. So anyways, so we got going on. All right, here we go, boys. Let's get it. Let's get this thing started up. I can't tell if that thing's spinning or not, but we're going for it. All right. Gas rotors, I know. We'll see what happens. See if this thing burns to the ground. You never know. The steering wheel just gets in the way, doesn't it? My life right now, 6 rows at a time when stuff's not broke down, or raining, or dumping a truck, or pretty much anything else. But when I'm in the combine, it's 6 rows at a time. Going in the bin. Yep. Still got issues with head loss, but I don't know what we're gonna do about. I don't know what we're gonna do about that. It just is what it is. It's really surprising with how wet the corn is. We're at like 23% moisture around that area, and we still got some butt shelling going on. So I don't know. I know the corn back into the home farm is a bunch of big ears, so it doesn't work there. I don't know. I do notice when we get into this better stand of corn in this low spot, there's not quite as much, so I think it's the size of the ear thing. But all this ground up here in Rothbury is really sandy, so what can you do? What can you do? Get after it. Alright, so that's gonna be it for the day. We got one truck full. The other truck's got a dump on it. Yep, back to the same old story as everything ran out of rain. And I should really let my dad know that there's a nice deer standing out right in front of where his tree stand is. But since he's not out here hunting, sucks to be him. Yeah, so the field, the last couple fields, we weren't really expecting to yield real well because of the rain that we didn't get. But yeah, I wasn't quite expecting quite this bad, which I'm gonna say part of it's probably the header loss we're getting. I'm really thinking that we need to go through and tighten all the deck plates up and just get it done with. I don't know what else we're gonna do. I don't know if that'll help really, because of the corn's just falling off the cob. I mean, I don't know if it's the variety that we have or what, but yeah, there's something that we need to do about that. And yeah, but I'll tell you what, it's another beautiful night out here. Could go all night. A little breeze. It's not too cold, so yep, just perfect weather. Only if we had some manpower to do it all. Grandpa's got a meeting and it just doesn't work out that way. So anyways, I'm gonna say thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Alright, so a little update on the skid steer. Kind of left before they had it all put back together to see how it ran. The new muffler fixed the issue. So what happened was I guess I'd consider it a baffle slash end of the muffler, since that's an insulated muffler. It's got packing, it's got a muffler, and then the packing, and then a shell outside of that to kind of keep it cool inside the engine bay, because of how everything's packed in there. They want it like that. And it's really the end of the muffler that welds broke on, and it went on the other side of the tailpipe. So like, it's hard to explain, but it went from the end of the muffler to towards the inside. It was blocking off the exhaust, and that's why it was pretty much choking the engine out. It was loading it up. I don't know how you want to call it, whatever, but it wasn't flowing right, so it was all backed up, and that's why it didn't really want to spool, and where it was over. So I don't know how you want to explain it, but it was not running right. And the new muffler fixed it. I ran it all day today, not a single issue, ran perfect, so that's good. Glad it was something simple. I'm not going to say cheap, because it was $500 for a new muffler, but it is what it is. I'm just glad it wasn't a injection pump. I kind of had thoughts of a governor's linkage spring breaking, and it was trying to run away and everything else. So I'm glad it wasn't that. Thought it was a turbo, kind of. Still doesn't feel perfect. It's a little stiff, but I mean, it is also a smaller turbo. I mean, I don't know anything about those little soup can turbos. Bigger the better, in my opinion. You know, let's party. But yeah, that's how. I mean, it ran great today, so I'm not real worried about it. So yeah, that's what we found out. Yeah, so that was just my little update on that, making sure I clarified that before I just, you know, I looked on YouTube looking for answers. I've looked on the internet looking for answers on what it was. Where we talked to the dealership. They kind of pointed us in the direction of a muffler. By the sounds of it, it's kind of a common issue in a way, from what the guy was saying. So they had enough issues with them to actually stop one. So we just ran down and got one and had it and said that was enough of that. Fixed it. So that's good to know. Yeah, pretty much this is just me rambling on right now. But anyways, that was our issue with it. So I wanted to just clarify what happened. So if you guys have the same issue and you know what to actually look for and whatnot, and maybe it'll save you a couple $1,000s at the end of it. So anyways, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.